Tonight I'm going to be showing you guys how to upgrade the headlights on your 2006 to 2012 Nissan Sentra from your standard halogens to brand new LED headlights. Currently, Judy's 2007 Nissan Sentra has Sylvania Ultra Bright halogen headlights. I'm not sure exactly which ones they are. I'll post it up on the screen right here. So those have been in there for a while and they just aren't cutting it. So we went ahead and we polished up these headlights, got them shining real nice, and it's been a little better, but there's still definitely room for improvement. We are going with the AUXITO. I am not really sure how to pronounce this. Sorry if I am butchering the name, but we're going with this headlight kit. These are H13 bulbs, and we're going to see the differences between brand new LED headlights and the current halogens that are in there now. Okay, as you guys can see, it's pretty dark out. I don't know why I'm whispering. I guess that's just instinctive. And I apologize, these GoPro 9s have really bad low light recording. So let's go ahead and take a look at the standard halogens. You can kind of see the beams from right now. We're about, I want to say 12 feet back from the wall. I know the tests are normally done a little around 20 feet, but this driveway goes on an incline. So they're good. They're bright enough for this demonstration or being here, but when other cars are coming at you and they've got the new brighter lights, it is really hard to see the road in this car. So there the high beams are, low beams, high beams, and we'll get an outside view as well. So there the low beams are, and unfortunately you can't really see the detail in the headlights, but they're not the brightest. They certainly work, but they could be better. Now let's try the high beams. All right, now these are the high beams outside the car. A lot brighter. Some of it's cutting over the top there. You won't be able to see that though. And that's what they look like. So let's go for a little drive and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the headlights are dim now. We're going down a pretty dark road with no street lights. And this is just the normal lights. Not a whole lot of coverage, and the GoPro unfortunately is not going to pick it up like we're seeing. But let's give the high beams a go. A little more light coverage going on there. And now we're on a normal street with a little bit of, it's still pretty dark here, and then you got a car coming along, and I can't see past that car. Now I can. Let's try the high beams. So the high beams are doing all right, but not something you want to have when there's other cars coming towards you, because that blinds them, and that's just kind of being a jerk. So the install process is actually pretty easy. So there's not really much you need to do. Doing an upgrade like this is actually all plug and play now. Gone are the days of the big HID ballasts and finding the right adapters and all that mess to get the same or less light output than these brand new LED headlights. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to have to pop your hood, and on the driver's side on the USDM models, it's over by the left leg here. You pop that guy, hood's popped up, there's going to be a little latch underneath here. You just kind of feel under there, move that over, pull up your hood, prop rod's going to be right there. And now you've got a headlight there, and believe it or not, you've got another one here. Where are the headlight bulbs located? Great question, I asked me. Let me answer that for me. Back here, you've got your battery, and then below here, you see this green little guy down there? That is your headlight. So what we're gonna do is make sure you remove the spider webs on yours as well, because you don't want to be part of a spider snack. And then you're gonna locate this little red tab. You just pull the red tab back by your thumbnail, or if you've got a screwdriver, a little flathead, that might be more helpful. And then you just kind of wiggle this connection loose and move the connector out of the way. So now what you're going to do is, there's these tabs here. I can't really stick the GoPro in too far, but there's one there and one there, which you can use to turn this with your fingers just counterclockwise. So make sure you've got your orientation correctly. It's that way if you're doing one of these guys, and then you just gently pull the bulb out. And like I say, this is like one of the top of the line. There it is, Sylvania whatever this one. This is the most expensive halogen lights because we desperately needed an upgrade, but now we got something a little better. So while we've got this one out, let's set it aside somewhere nice just in case. And I recommend, if you have an ant pile, you put your light by the ant pile as well. They will look over it. So now we have our nice new AUXITO God, I am probably butchering that. We're going to open up this guy and I'll show you what to do next. All right, now that we've taken the plastic off, we'll just kind of do a quick unboxing. What's up, guys? It's your boy Lou. It's unbox therapy. All right, so we've got some zip ties. We've got a little fancy manual. Who needs manuals where we're going, right? But if you're unsure, it's always a good idea to read through the manual first. And these do have installation instructions for basically all the models that they offer here, which is nice in case you did buy multiple sets for upgrading all your vehicles. And some FAQ, nice little manual thing they've got here. So when you remove these bulbs, even though they're not like halogen with the glass or like HIDs, it's still a good idea to keep your fingers off the LED elements and the little diodes there, because that's you don't want to contaminate them and possibly have their lifespan shortened a bit. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take this bulb, make sure it kind of looks the same as that bulb. You see there's these little tabs here all around, and this also has little tabs all around, so there's nothing we really need to do other than pop this guy in there and give her a little twist. But we're going to make sure we do that with this wire side up. That way it's a little easier for cable management, because there's not a whole lot of room to reach my hands underneath the car, or underneath the headlight. So we're going to come over here and go right back to where we were, right where that original headlight was. And if you're having trouble finding the hole, especially if it's your first time, you can always come down here and you can see this little guy coming on through, so you know you're in the right spot and not the wrong hole. You don't want to make that mistake, because the car can be extremely unhappy if you do so. So once we're lined up, we are just going to push in gently, and of course always gently, and then just give it a little twist clockwise, which is the opposite direction of what you did initially. And the nice thing about these bulbs is they also have those little tabs, which makes it a lot easier to grab onto. And I wasn't paying too much attention, and I did install this with the wire down, but that's okay because I can actually reach this plug, which is good. And now what we're going to do is plug this guy, which I'm going to need 2 hands for. I'm going to plug this guy into the stock harness, and we're going to find a place to zip tie this little thing, which is kind of like a ballast, but I don't believe it is. I believe it's just like a driver circuit and probably some fan control as well, because these do have fans built in, which is awesome. They're not just passively cooled. All right, once you've got that plugged in, you push your red tab back in. That should be a pretty tight connection. It should not go anywhere. And then we're probably just going to zip tie this wire over onto this existing loom here, because that's a good spot and it won't bounce around much. You really don't want this thing bouncing around a whole lot, because that could damage the electronics inside of it. Now that we've got one side, and let's do a light comparison from the driver's side to the passenger. Okay, already I think you could tell which side is which. On the low beam, that is a lot more concentrated. It's hard to tell with the camera, but there is like a straight across flat beam there that's really well dialed in, whereas the standard halogen's yellowish and a little more scattered, which you really wouldn't expect from a standard halogen bulb. And yeah, that is a clear as day difference. Let's go check the high beams now too. All right, we've got the high beams going on now too, and the LED one's already pretty much overtaking the standard halogen. And standing where I am right now, back at the beam where kind of a driver would be, about around the same height of a driver right now, I'm not getting blinded. The camera might appear to be a little bit, but the headlights aren't in my eyes. They're not as scattery as some of them, like some traditional HIDs or something that could scatter everywhere if you don't focus them properly, but that is nice. So now it's time to do the same on the other side. Okay, so for the passenger side, the bulb is basically in the same style location. It's a different color connector. It's back here. It's a gray color connector, and it's about the same difficulty, I would say, to get to. My hands are pretty large. I wear a double XL glove, so moving around back here is a little difficult for me. Same principle, counterclockwise, in by those tabs, gently pull her on out. And oh, I think it's time to replace that belt soon. What do you guys think? There we go. Another Sylvania Ultra Bright. And not in comparison to the LEDs, huh? So we're just going to put that there next to the ants. Let them feast on whatever they're doing. Take this guy out, making sure we don't touch the diodes. And pop this in. Same thing. If you weren't filming, like I am, this should only take you about 5 minutes to do, really. If that. So again, if you can't find the hole, come on down here. No use poking around. No one's ever happy that way. So we're gonna get it on in there. Find a spot where those tabs line up, and then tighten it clockwise. And on this side, we're going to zip tie this right off to this little body panel here that's kind of open, or you could run a zip tie to. And then we're gonna go for a drive and see what's going on. Okay, and that's zip tied there. This will be cut, and that one's over there. That's not going to go anywhere. I'll probably throw another one on there just to stop vibration, and same on the other side. And yeah, cut your zip ties unless you're a savage, because you know I'm going to cut mine. Probably not. Okay, with both of them installed, it's time to check out the beams and then go for a little test drive. All right, now that is a difference. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Wow, that really does bring the car into more of a modern look too, which is really nice to have. You don't have those regular old halogens. Let me turn off that light just to get a better idea. Look at that, huh? That is nice and bright. Now we've got the high beams on, and it's looking pretty good. Looking all nice and bright. Let's go for that test drive now. And if you really want to save these bulbs, which I don't know why you would with a 50,000 hour lifespan on these brand new bulbs, it's unlikely you're going to be replacing them for a while. So if you really wanted to, you can put them back in the old box. They kind of fit nicely. Pop this guy in here, this manual. And I know it's showing up better on the GoPro because I can see it now, but what I'm looking at on the road is awesome. This is just as good, if not better, than the headlights I've got in the BMW, which really illuminate the whole road. And before the halogens were not doing this. So this is awesome. It's a big upgrade. Let's kick the high beams on. Wow, that is such crisp detail on the road too. You can see so much more detail than you really could with the halogens. That's not bad. It is definitely worth the money for these upgrades, considering even the top of the line halogen bulbs are quite pricey. This is well worth it. Back to standard. Even the low beams, they're actually acting way better than the high beams used to. Even in this other car coming on with the low beams on still, I can see well past the car now, which I was not able to before. Let's try this guy here too. Yeah, no problems. So being that this is your car, what do you think of this upgrade?
I think it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, before it was very hard to see at night. I know that was one of the issues. So do you think that issue's gone now?
Yeah, for sure.
So I gotta say, I'm really impressed with these headlights, and I do recommend them. Just I'm gonna keep updating. I'll maybe make a comment in about 2 to 3 months, a couple miles of driving, see how they are. But right now, I actually really like them, and more importantly, so does she. So full disclaimer, AUXITO, or however, sorry, I'm mispronouncing your name if I am, they did send me these lights for free, but they did ask that I give them an honest review and an honest install. I was not paid for this review at all. I was just given these lights, and they said, see if you like them. If you don't, then don't put a video up. Video's going up, so so far I do like them. The plug and play was awesome, and there's no errors on the dash or anything weird like that. And the light they put out, super crisp, really bright, and it's not like annoyingly scattered or something. Like back in the day when I used to put in HID systems and whatnot, it would just kind of be scattered. Sure, they were an improvement over halogen, but if you didn't have projector headlights, forget it. This car does not have projector headlights, and the beam was exactly like it was, crisp as it was, and nothing scattered like you would normally get with, again, with HIDs. So thank you guys so much for watching. There'll be a link in the description below where you can go and buy these. It's not an affiliate link. I'm not getting any money from recommending these at all. So give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you want to do this to your car, if you have any questions, leave a comment below. Tell me what you liked about this video, tell me what you didn't like, and make sure to hit subscribe, because I'm going to be installing some more cool things and having some neat things for all the cars that have been featured on my channel, and maybe a couple more as well. So remember, as always guys, keep it foul.